Oh, good afternoon. Well, it's another Monday, the end of the month. Everybody's getting excited for Halloween, I'm sure. Getting your costumes out and your pumpkins carved. And hope it's wellness gathering, and we're focusing on Get Your Happy On with Lynn doing the principles of core alignment. And hope she doesn't put us through the what we did last week that was mind-boggling. Okay, Lynn, give us an easy task today.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't that hard, was it? Was it that bad? Okay. Well, we're still continuing. We're halfway through our conversations around, being more in this state of happiness and with the principles of core alignment. And so we're going to start with a question. And the question for today is, who is someone that is easy for you to talk to? So my name is Lynn, and I am in Calgary, Alberta, and on the Tsuut'ina Nation land here in North Glenmore Park. And somebody that's easy for me to talk to. Well, I mean, I go with my partner and my husband because he's the one that's always around me. It's sort of like we don't really have to have words to talk. We can stay in a lot of silence, and it's like we think the same. Somehow it's like he'll say something and it will be exactly what I'm thinking. So it's like so it's very easy to talk to him, and sometimes in different ways, not just verbally. And it's kind of I don't know, I'm grateful that I have that kind of connection with him after many years. And sometimes it's just nice to be able to be existing together with our bodies and have good conversations or have just silence. Yeah. How about you, Madeline?
Hi, Madeline. I'm in Calgary, Alberta, and someone who I find easy to talk to. Um, well, I'm going to say Gord because it's the same kind of thing. Like where he's around a lot. He's really, we're in sync. We've been together quite a long time. Um, it is just really easy. And if I'm particularly frustrated, he knows now to just not, he doesn't need to fix anything. He just needs to listen. So I've trained him up.
Awesome. How about you, Dawn Marie?
I'm Dawn Marie, and I'm from Sacramento, California. And the person that I find most easy to talk to is my best friend, Elizabeth. She's been my friend for about 17 years now. And I love the fact that she flies by the seat of her pants. And her husband allows her to hang out with me. So I'm happy for that.
Awesome. How about you, Olive?
My name is Olive. I'm in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and what's easy for me to talk to is my friend Bridget. We've been friends for more than 50 years, and she knows my family stories. I know her family stories, and we might not talk for a month at a time, but we just pick up where we left off. So, Bridget.
Awesome. How about you, Lorraine?
Okay. Well, someone that is easy to talk to is my daughter, Lynn, because she phones me often.
Supposed to use someone else other than me.
Well, I think easy to talk to is my two girlfriends that I traveled Europe with, Jackie and Marion. And it's very easy to talk to them because we have very fond memories, and we've spent, and that's been 60 years. 60 years of friendship. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. It's kind of neat to kind of look at that, people that are easy for us who've traveled the path with us thus far, wherever we're at, and the ease of being able to speak with them. So that's what we're going to be looking at today, is what, the mentors that we might have of happiness, people we look up to that mentor us in this concept of being happy and joyful. And so part of our intention today is to hear from others the important information that will support us in standing more in a state of happiness. So tell me a person in your life that could be an example of somebody that is sort of a mentor for you around being happy. And these mentors could be anybody. So somebody that might come to mind that you think of when you think of happiness and being happy and standing in this state of happiness. Olive?
That's a tough question for me. The first person that came to mind was my friend Joan, who passed away 2 years ago, and I've not really replaced her. I've not found that person that can just make me happy by just being. So I have to work on that one.
Cool. And what was it about Joan that
Um,
made you think of happiness?
Joan was the type of person who was just always positive. Even in a negative situation, she could put a positive spin on things.
Cool. Cool. How about you, Dawn Marie?
I have to say that same friend, Elizabeth, because she can take a situation that looks very challenging and turn it into something very positive. And you always have fun with her when she turns those situations into a positive experience. So I love that about her boldness and her tenacity to make it happen.
Cool. How about you, Madeline?
I am going to say, well, it's instantly I thought of my friend Jeannie, who we've been friends for 35 years-ish. And we met actually at we were both working at a comedy club. And of course, you would think that was kind of like the place where it'd be a lot of fun. But sometimes it's not all that much fun because it's work, right? Work at comedy. But she is a wonderful gal, and she has an incredibly raw sense of humor, kind of off color sometimes, a little bit like keep your pecker up is her favorite expression. Let's put it that way. So I think that speaks volumes of Jeannie and her funny sense of humor. So it's something that I have always cherished about her. So I'm going to say my friend Jeannie.
Got it. Awesome. How about you, Lorraine?
Well, it's funny, somebody that makes me happy or brings the happiness out. The first thing that came to my mind, and besides my two girlfriends, is friends from years ago when I used to work in psychiatry in Regina, and there was a couple of staff that was so funny, and we just split ourselves laughing over just little things that would come to our minds, and it was very enjoyable in that environment. Of course, they've since passed away, but I still can feel the joy of sitting around coffee break and just laughing at just silly things. And it was very heartwarming to remember those things.
Was it, was there a group of them or one or
Well,
two?
just our staff. There was about 2 or 3 staff. And there's another, when I was working as a support worker, there was one girl, she was from South Africa. And some of her stories and her accent would just split us up, and we would get together and have our little meeting, and she'd describe what happened and things. So, so working in with the home care, that situation, there was always a lot of funny things happening.
Got it. Do you know what her name was?
Well, the girl from South Africa was Ilona, and of course there was
Okay.
Jean Miller. We used to
Okay.
curl together, and
Okay.
so we always had a good time.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to invite these lovely beings into our time today. And we are going to just play with this, with, talking with them. And so what I'm going to invite you all to do is we are going to imagine that you are that person that you picked, and you're going to step into their shoes and sit in their chair and imagine you're them. And we're just going to ask some questions. So I'm going to kind of just go around. And so we'll start with Olive and Joan. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I want you to imagine that you're Joan and step into her shoes and sit in her chair and ask Joan. We'll just ask, so Joan, what do you see Olive, what emotion do you see Olive choosing a lot?
Well, I think I see Olive choosing enjoying life.
Awesome. And what emotional choice do you think Olive wants to make more often?
I think that's her go-to. I think that is the emotion that she most seeks out in life.
And is there one piece of advice that you would give to Olive?
Don't worry about what other people think. Just enjoy what you're doing.
Thank you, Joan. You can come back and be you again. All right, Dawn Marie, would you like to? I'm going to have you step into Elizabeth's shoes.
Oh boy.
And be her. Okay. So Elizabeth, what do you see Dawn Marie? What emotion do you see Dawn Marie choosing a lot?
I would have to say not being so structured, just enjoy life and you don't have to have a plan, just do it and enjoy the journey as you get there.
Got it. And how will Dawn Marie do this more easily?
I think if Dawn Marie would just let go and let things happen, she would find that it would be a much easier journey for her.
Got it. Right. Thank you, Elizabeth. Hey, Madeline, I'm going to have you step into Jeannie's shoes.
Okay.
Jeannie.
We know what Jeannie's going to say.
Yes, indeed.
So, Jeannie, what emotion do you see Madeline choosing a lot?
I see Madeline choosing the emotion of searching,
Searching.
I would say.
Got it.
Sort of whatever that emotion brings.
Yep. Curiosity.
Searching like truth, curiosity, yeah. Truth or
and what emotional choice do you think Madeline wants to make more often?
I think Madeline wants to make imaginative choices more often in terms of finding things to search for rather than be stuck in the search.
Got it. And how can she do this more easily?
Well, we all know what's coming, don't we? Just needs to keep her back her up.
Awesome. Thank you. You can come back and be you again.
Thank you.
All right, Lorraine. Who would you like to speak to? Ilona
Uh,
or G?
Ilona.
Okay, so I'd like you to step into her shoes and be her and say what she would say and pretend you're her. And so, Ilona, what emotion do you see Lorraine choosing a lot?
Well, I think the emotion is to find funny things that in life, little things that you do, Lorraine would do, and just laugh at the little the
What
scenario.
emotion do you see her
Well,
choosing?
it's a spontaneous joy.
Got it. Got it.
Okay,
And how, yeah, and how can Lorraine choose spontaneous joy more easily?
just to find the funny things that happen. Find a humor in a situation.
Mhm. And is there one piece of advice you would give to Lorraine?
Just keep doing it.
Awesome. Thank you, Ilona. So you can come back and be you again. So, what is something that you would like to thank these people for today? Madeline, in sharing with us.
Yeah, I would like to thank Jeannie for reminding me that the imagination and manifesting is easy. You got to put time to it. You got to make time for it. And she's a really good one to keep reminding. What is it that you want? Those are the questions that, defining them rather than, so imagination, I guess is,
Got
yeah.
it. Thank you. How about you, Dawn Marie? What would you want to thank Elizabeth for today?
I would want to thank her for her unconditional friendship and her adventurous life that she leads. I mean, we've gone on girl trips and stayed in hostels and we went camping together and just done so many fun things that I probably would not have done had I not had the level of her friendship. So that adventurous spirit, I truly admire about her.
Got it. Thank you. How about you, Olive? What would you like to thank Joan for today?
I'd just like to thank Joan for always being available and making me feel like an important person in her life.
Got it. Got it. Awesome. How about you, Lorraine?
Well, I'd like to thank Ilona for making me aware that the things that we do and experience can be very, very funny. Even if they might be tragic at the time or not good at the time, but looking back at them, you can really laugh at it.
Got it. Yeah. So when you consider these mentors of happiness or happy times, how might you consider that the advice they've given you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I would be, I'm very grateful for the advice and the experience to have that awareness, come to me.
How about you, Madeline? Oh
I think the emphasis on creating your life is something that has been uh, uh, something that has been projected out from her way of being, and that is particularly intriguing to me. That we're not just following our noses, we're creating stuff.
Cool. How about you, Dawn Marie?
Could you repeat the question?
How might you consider the advice that she's given you?
I would have to say, I would consider it to be very loyal and very unconditional. I mean, she just is there for me. I mean, if I close my eyes tomorrow, I know that she would take care of everything that I need to have taken care of. She's just that kind of a friend for me. A sister from another mother is what I call her.
Nice, nice. How about you, Olive?
Well, I think what Joan did for me was make me realize that almost any problem can be solved by a cup of tea and a hot cup of tea and a good chat.
Mm.
Nice. Awesome. Well, the intention that we have for our conversation today is to hear from others that information that will support us in moving towards more of this state of happiness. So, what do you see as possible now after you've heard from these mentors? Lorraine?
What's possible now, I think, is just to just enjoy the moment and just, get the lighter side of the situation and enjoy it. Keeping positive, keep your brain in a happy state.
Mm. How about you, Madeline?
I would say that encouraging words definitely were passed here today. That it just is, I don't know, encouraging to think about what others have to say to us, and hearing what others would say to other people as well. Encouraging.
Yeah, cool. How about you, Dawn Marie?
I would have to say longitude, being in so many friendships for so many years. I just, take my hat off to you all who've had friends for 50 and 60 years, and some who have gone on to the other side, just, to cherish those moments of the time that you've had and how the memories that are left behind from them. It's very precious.
Yeah, yeah. How about you, Olive?
I think the best type of friendship is the person who's going to listen. Some people in my life just talk. They just go on and on and on. The friendships that I really cherish are the ones when the people are listeners. And Joan and Bridget are both listeners.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, it is almost time to end the session. So tell me what you'll take away from this session that will support you until we talk again. Olive?
What I will take from this session is to remember to nourish the friendships that I have. I've read that men will come and go in your life. It's the female relationships that will be there forever.
Cool. How about you, Dawn Marie?
I would have to say, listening to the friends and the people that are very dear to me, and just cherishing those conversations that we have, because once they're gone, they're gone. So really cherish and listen.
Madeline?
What I will take with me that will support me until we talk again. Well, it's very interesting that we all had female mentors at the moment. And so all of you bring up that's, a trend, as it were. And I think it's easy for women to be sort of more giving and taking. There's a possibility of, shared calmness, as it were, in conversation, perhaps more. And I think that's an interesting quality to remember when you're talking with others.
Cool. How about you, Lorraine?
I think what I'll take away till we talk again is all the thoughts and what was expressed here today and the new ideals and the nurturing of a female group.
Yeah. Well, what I take away is I'm reminded of a friend that I grew up with that passed away this spring, and I didn't know her that well, but I went to her celebration of life, and she was nurturing and giving to people right up until the moment that she she was organized. She was just being who she was right till the end, and albeit I only spent a little bit of time with her and when she lived here in Calgary, and but that's what she's coming through. And if I were to pick a mentor, she was always bubbly and always organizing things and always bringing people together and always just celebrating. Life was just one big celebration, and that's really what she left behind. And so so that's what I take away from this conversation and this practice, is that there's more than just us gathering, and I can tune into these people that I really look up to at any given time and really step into their shoes and sit into their chair and ask myself, what would they say to me? What do they see? Because I'm not often seeing I'm only seeing myself in a certain light. And so there's lots to be gleaned from others in my life. So what will you take with you that'll support you for the rest of your life, Olive?
What I will take with me to support me the rest of my life is to be that personality that I see, that I cherish in other people, to be a listener and to be someone who uplifts other people.
How about you, Marie?
What I will take away from this that will support me for the rest of my life is cohesiveness. We women, we can be catty at times, but we are there for one another when we need to be. So I will cherish this conversation and learning about all your friendships and some of the special people that they were to you in your lives. So I'm going to ponder on that this week.
Awesome. How about you, Madeline?
What I will take away that will support me for the rest of my life. Well, to consider how others see us, I think is really, I think it was said, but seeing yourself through other people's eyes and really taking a look, that's, it's a kind of a foreign idea. It's not a way of being. So to take that on would be really interesting for a while. Yeah.
How about you, Lorraine?
Oh, what I'll take away from this conversation for the rest of my life is just being more in contact with the people that are special to you, and picking up the phone and talking to them more often, because we tend to isolate ourselves. And so I think keep up the conversation all the time to be in communication with them.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. And what else is possible? This has been fun.
Okay. And then next week we'll be having a session because Lynn is off to Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to take a little break next week. So
Yeah.
we'll reconvene on the 11th of November.
Okay.
Oh,
Very
nice.
good.
Remember it.